Hi there, Westside. Hey, when was the last time you remember seeing an advertisement for cologne or perfume? Yeah, it may have been pretty recent. They're around a lot, either in a magazine or on television. It's a kind of advertising that I find to be really fascinating. It intrigues me, and here's the main reason. You're trying to cross or transcend a medium. They're trying to sell you something that smells a certain way, and you have to do it through a visual medium. And that's a real big challenge to do. You can show a picture of a car or pictures of clothing or whatever it is you're selling, but to communicate what something smells like in an effective way by having someone look at it, that's a challenge. Now, for most perfumes, I don't think they do a very good job. They just kind of give this association of beautiful people in exotic settings, and here's their nice smelling liquid. But sometimes they make kind of a good attempt. And there was one I remember watching. It was for a men's cologne, and this young man is riding up to some place in the evening. It looked like it was the entry to a nightclub, and he's got his lady on the back of his motorcycle, and she's hanging on to him. Of course, you would be. You're riding a motorcycle. She's hugging him very, very tightly, and she's holding on to her like for dear life on this motorcycle. And he pulls up and he stops and parks in front of the place, and he steps off his motorcycle, and she's not letting go. She's still hanging on and holding on to him. And it switches your mind as you're thinking, she's not hanging on for dear life on the back of a motorcycle. She's hanging on because she is so enthralled by the cologne that this young man is wearing. And in that sense, it kind of does a clever way of at least getting you to think about what the product's about. But sometimes with the Bible, with God, we face a similar dilemma. Sometimes it is hard because we're transcending a medium. God is beyond our natural experience here. He goes outside of it. He's a supernatural being, and there are things about God that we are not going to be able to comprehend, or we'll have a hard time comprehending. But we have His Word, and sometimes through the language, it makes some really good attempts, I think, at transcending that medium, explaining what God is like, this God who goes beyond what we know in our natural world. We're looking at Psalm 36 today. It's 12 verses. I encourage you to read them all. But I'm going to focus on verses 5 and 6 right now. And here it says, and it's a beautiful depiction of God's character, of some of the things about who God is. And it says here, "Your love, O Lord, reaches to the heavens, your faithfulness to the skies. Your righteousness is like the mighty mountains, your justice like the great deep." How does it describe God? It explains here, David is writing about his love, his faithfulness, his righteousness, and his justice. And how does he describe it? From the highest of heights to the depths of the sea, as far as you can imagine, as far as you can experience. That is what God is like. It's not just love. It's love that reaches to the heavens. In the language here, we're trying to transcend that existence, trying to communicate love, which we experience in so many ways, much more than just reading the written word. And yet, He's expressing what God is like. And when you see the expansiveness of God, when you see the depth, the profundity of God, and you understand it, and you see that, and then comes the good part. Here, the second half of verse 6. "O Lord, you preserve both man and beast." But I think it comes to life a little bit. Let me read to you from the Message. Eugene Peterson, I think, does a great job expressing this. God's love is meteoric. His loyalty, astronomic. His purpose, titanic. His verdicts, oceanic. Let that sink in for a little bit. And then comes this part. "Yet in His largeness, nothing is lost. Not a man, not a mouse slips through the cracks." This God who transcends our world, who is vast beyond our imagination. And yet, nothing slips through the cracks. He knows you, and he cares for you deeply. Now, this is in a context of the wicked, acknowledging that bad things happen. There are wicked people out there. There are people who do evil. There are people who don't care about God. And they're missing out on a lot, because this is a really cool God that we have. And so sometimes there's a challenge. He's beyond what we're able to comprehend. But he's amazing, and he comprehends us. And that's the important part, I think. And difficult things are going on, maybe you're being challenged in some ways. Bear this in mind. You are not slipping through the cracks with God. He knows. He's working good through your situation. So, in closing in prayer, I just want to leave you with the last words of this psalm. And Lord, to myself and to those who are listening, may you continue your love to we who know you, your righteousness to the upright in heart. May the foot of the proud not come against us, nor the hand of the wicked drive us away. Amen. All right, y'all, you have a great day. God bless you.